Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to askNK. Now we all know that when you work in Blender, there are certain things that you cannot undo, especially when an operation has been done. So for example, you choose to extrude stuff, bevel stuff, you cannot necessarily undo them once you've initiated such commands. And this is where tools like Maya and Houdini actually comes in handy, as they do have nodes that are responsible for various stuff, which you can actually deep dive into and make some corrections. And this gives you a little bit more of an advantage when you're either modeling or making certain changes to your 3D model. And of course, we've seen layer tools in various forms for Blender, like a sculpting layer, an animation layer, but we've not seen a polygonal layering tool. And today we do have something that is pretty interesting. It is called a Edit layer. And this is more like an extension tool that is actually available on Blender extension platform, which you can actually go ahead and grab. And of course, for those who like to get this, you can simply go over to the link in the description. That'll bring you right here where you'll be able to click on Get Add-on. You can simply click and drag the add-on into your Blender and this installs. A separate way that you can get this is by simply going over to your Blender, go over to Edit, go over to Preference, go over to the extensions and search for that there and install it. And once this is installed, how you work with this one is easy. If you tap N on the keyboard, you go all the way here, you would notice that you've got the Edit layers. Now with the Edit layers, if you click on Initialize Stack, this is where things gets interesting. So the idea behind this tool is for you to be able to create stuff based off layers so that you don't necessarily need to work destructively, as working destructively has been the basic way that you get to do stuff. So in this case, if you like to start making some stuff, all you need to do is click on Edit Record and you can go in and do some stuff. So for example, if I go into bevel and I roll up on that bevel, click right here to initiate and actually keep that. And once we click on commit, automatically we have a layer. We can turn this layer off and turn it back on. What if we like to do more stuff? So to do more stuff is also the very same thing. Click on edit. And in this case, if I tap 3 on the keyboard, have that selected, possibly insert that and maybe extrude that all the way in, jump all the way out. You would notice it's got layer 2. So we can turn this off and we can go back and forth however we want. And it doesn't stop there. If we click on that edit one more time, I insert that, maybe I extrude this part all the way out, do some looping. Let's actually do that because this works basically with all of your edit tools. So once we do that and commit to that, we've got layer 3. So things starts getting interesting when you choose to go all the way to the top. So if I go ahead and turn this all the way to the top, say for example, we would want to make that decision on here and not here. What we can do is to click on the plus sign. So we've got the branch and we've got the layers. So all of these layers exist within this branch. So if we click on the plus sign, we create a whole new branch and we can start working based off that first layer. And you can see that it tells that most of the data are coming from the first layer. So once we have that, I can have this selected, click on edit right now. And if we go in and select the face, let's say I insert that face and extrude that face downwards like we did earlier. Let's also insert that face a little bit inwards. If we go ahead and commit to that, you would now notice that if we go back here and we turn on all of these, we have that. And if we go back here, we have this. Pretty interesting. So with one model piece, you can have variations. And I think the idea here is just to solve that repetitive remodeling of one particular stuff. And something else that creators would love is this. So you know how we talked about having 2 different kinds of branches? So we've got the first branch and the second branch. Right here, you can also go in and double click to rename the branch. So just in case you like to rename the branch, of course, you can definitely go ahead and do it. It's also worth mentioning that you can compare things together. So in this case, I can choose to compare this with what we have here. I can also go ahead and maybe just simply say we would like to be on this level where we have this stuff. And if we go in and click on compare, you would see it compares what we have with the first one against the second one. So this is what we have with the first one. And this is what we have with the second one. So in this case, you can go back and forth to review anything that you're already working on. Some other interesting things that are here, which I think a lot of you guys may also love, would have to do with adding modifiers. So right here, we've set that subdivision surface modifier to 4, just to have something a bit smooth. We can actually go ahead and take a look at the wireframe and you can see what that is. Now, if you add a modifier, in this case, like a subdivision modifier on your piece, you can use that to drive another layer. So if we click on apply, it would ask us if we would like to discard and rebuild, which is technically just getting rid of every other thing, or if we like to adopt that subdivision surface as a layer. So if we click on adopt as layer, this automatically adopts it as layer. And you can see right here, it puts it in the bracket adopted. So we can turn that off, turn that on, and you can simply go all the way up and down. Of course, I would definitely suggest that you turn things off hierarchically. So we can go like so, and we can come right here. And this is also something that's available with edit layers as well. For sculpting, it is also super useful. We can click on the Initialize stack and start recording a sculpt. So the very same thing that we talked about earlier also applies here. Once you go in and you start sculpting a part of our piece like so, let's just make this part a bit fuller and let's soften that part a bit. Once we have that and we commit, we have one layer. We could turn this layer off if we want, and if we like to rework on that layer where we have that edit, we can click on re-edit selected layer, and this pops up and we can start making editing right here. So this automatically brings you into your edit room where you can do all of that edit changes, and whatever change that you make here, in this case, if I choose to go ahead and move this all the way there, and let's say we rotate that and commit to it, that automatically adapts to it. So if we turn this on, you can see that right here. So it is very interesting. One other thing which I think you might want to know about is, can you sculpt with mirror turned on? Yes, you can. So in this case, if we click on record sculpt and we turn on the mirror function or the symmetric function, we can go ahead and do that. So in this case, if we choose to add a bit of mustache to our piece, we can have that there. And you can click on commit and you'd notice that we've got that. We can also go in and do more stuff just like we did earlier. So maybe we would want to have a sculpt on this end. Just going to increase that. Maybe we'd like to have a sculpt on this end, and we're not necessarily sure if this is what we want to go for. Possibly we'd like to have variations. We can click on that, and then we can initiate a new branch based off the previous layer that we trust. So I can turn this off and we can have this selected. Click on the plus sign, we have a new branch in this case, and we could redecide what we want. So maybe instead of having that there, we would like to have something about a point, like maybe this is the kind of sculpt that we're going for instead of the last one. So we can go ahead and do this. And so once we are done with that, we can click on commit and we can go back and forth. So I can turn this on and we can go back and forth so you can see the different changes that applies to this one. There's also this very interesting thing that happens with this tool. If in this case, we have this one selected, we have the main selected, and I have a layer selected, I can actually tell the vertices that are affecting that layer. So if I go ahead and turn this off and click on this button, you can see the vertices that were changed within that layer. So you can actually go ahead and make those edits if you want. And if we go ahead and turn that off and turn this one on, you can see that right here. So it is just this very interesting tool that you can use to flip back and forth between different edits or modifications that you've done on your model. And of course, once you're done with this, you can choose to bake them down, and this becomes one static mesh that you can use for literally anything that you want. And it is pretty interesting to see that this is available for free, and you can actually go ahead and grab this right now on Blender extension. And speaking about things that you can grab, Sculpt Layers is a nice Blender add-on that is currently available. This tool is built specifically for sculpting. Then we've got the Multisculpt tool, which is also really cool. So if you're into sculpting and you're looking for an additional sculpting tool that will allow you to sculpt on multiple objects at the same time, maybe you can use this, or you can also use the edit layers. Any of them, this tool is definitely going to be worth it. If you're into animation and you're wondering what animation layer tools do we have for Blender, as Blender currently doesn't have one, then the animation layers from Tal Hedgecock is also another one. So you can actually go ahead and check it out. An accompanying tool with that would be the AnimToolBox. This comes with a lot of animation tool stuff. So there's also a layer tool in this case for those working in animation. If you're into painting, Layer Painter is a very brilliant and easy tool that you can actually work with. We've also got the BlendShop, which is really nice. It's a layer-based compositing tool for anyone that is into compositing. You can actually go ahead and check it out. Then we've got some other layer-based tools as well that you can use for texturing. I'm going to link a lot of these ones in the description, so do well to check it out. So this is it. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.